Coming up. Mindset expert Angela Vallely is here to talk about insanity and sanity. So what's this about,
Exactly.
Andrea?
So, do you know the story of the astronaut's pen?
Only because you just told it to me during the commercial break, but let me know.
I think they made a Seinfeld parody about it. But the story goes, in the 60s, there was space travel, and the scientists were concerned, how are the astronauts going to be able to record things with a pen where there's no gravity? So they spent millions of dollars creating a pen that would work in this circumstance. So I already told you the punchline.
Tell it to everybody.
But, so what do you think the Russians did? The Russians used a pencil.
Yeah. And that the whole thing is Americans spent so much time trying to come up with something they didn't realize the much simpler
Exactly.
answer.
In a complete frenzy, they spent millions of dollars when the very simple answer was to use a pencil. So this is a metaphor for life. You know, when our minds are so very busy, we can't see what's in front of us. We can't see what's completely 100% right there and available to us. And just yesterday, we had met with a client, and she's going through a divorce. And she needs to make a little bit of extra money, so she went to her HR department. She works full-time, and she said, what part-time job could I have that would be compliant? And they gave her a list. She started looking around, and then over the weekend, she had some downtime. She stopped worrying about it. She let her thoughts settle. She just sort of put it on the back burner and forgot about it. And then it dawned on her, and she said, well, why don't I just call my boss and see if he would give me some extra hours? She did, and he said, of course. So usually everything that we're looking for is right in front of us. It's like when you're looking for your keys and they're in your hand, or you're looking for your sunglasses and they're on your head. When we slow down and stop, and sometimes even just give up and say, I'm done, I'm not going to figure this out, I'm going to move on to something new, exactly what we need will show up for us. But when we have a very, very busy mind, it's next to impossible to see that the keys are in your hand.
And that's not, right? As we've talked about a couple times, it's not just about when you're thinking about something, when you have to come up with, it's about every day finding some moments to have some clarity, and things will come along. You know, when you just take a break to think, it's amazing what you do think of.
Yeah, the answers always come, and there's actually companies that use this strategy, the give up strategy, when they're trying to, figure out how to create something and they're just not getting anywhere. A lot of times they'll say, you know what, let's just give up, move on to something new, and then whatever they need appears. But it's when we're just trying to figure things out that there's no room for that, innate intelligence that we have, that innate wisdom that we have to show up.
Great stuff, Andy. Thank you so much for